Wow. Oh yes, again today I will be talking about Internet of Things and Internet of Everything. A lot of people, misunderstand these two things. These two terms are not the same. So today I'll be putting you through everything you really need to know about the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything. Now, before we start talking about the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything, we really need to understand the four elements of market transaction, because without the four elements of market transaction, you are not going to be you are not going to understand the difference between the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything, because these two terms are built based on the four elements of market transaction. Now, when we're talking about the four elements of market transaction, we're talking about number one, people. We that we that we want the commodity. We are the one that we want the content. Anything you put in, any product you produce, you're doing it to satisfy human wants. So we the people are the human wants. Now think of that point where you actually build something. You are not building that something to satisfy the air, to satisfy oxygen. You're doing it because you want people to buy from you. You're doing it because you want people to compensate you. Now let's talk about the second element of market transaction. When we're talking about the second element of market transaction, we mean the process. In every commodity, in every content you're posting on the web, in every goods and services, pass through a process. And this process is among the elements of market transaction. Now let's talk about data. Data is an unprocessed file, or on a process, something that has not been processed. Is a raw data. If it's processed, then it gives you an information. Now let's talk about the last one, things. Internet of Things and Internet of Everything are focused on, it's a way where things like fridge, your fan, your television set, your torch, and every other things. When we're talking about things, we mean things you can see, things you can feel, things you can touch, can actually connect, communicate with each other without you being there. It's like whenever your dog even can communicate with you. When your dog can communicate with your goat, using any other means. It could be Bluetooth, it could be internet cable, it could be anything. So when we talk about the four elements of market transaction, we're talking about people, process, data, and things. Now let's talk about the Internet of Things. When we talk about the Internet of Things, this is also called IoT. So anywhere you hear the acronym IoT, they are also talking about the Internet of Things. And it deals with the way physical device communicate with each other and exchange data. Just like I said earlier, I said the things in market transaction is a way of when things you can see and feel and touch communicate with each other. For example, your dog communicating with your fridge, you at home, your fridge communicating with your fan, you're at home, you need something, you put on your phone, and all of a sudden your milk is running low in your fridge, and you can equally receive the message that pimp through your phone the milk is running low. You are not going there physically, but you are getting the message physically. Now when we're talking about this IoT, which is the Internet of Things, Internet of Things based on the four elements of market transaction. Internet of Things is just focused on two things, and these two things is data and things. Internet of Things just want a way where it can process your data, not just even process your data, because if I talk about processing data, then I'm adding the process in market element. It deals with a way it can kind of take your data, deal with your data, and then make natural things in a physical way communicate. Make those things you can see in a physical way communicate. It could be through Bluetooth, it could be through cable, through your VGR cable, it could be through any ordinary thing, but they are connecting physically. We you're talking about Internet of Things, think about two things. Think about the way it connects physically. It connects physically in terms of Internet of Things, and it's only focused on data and things. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of this. When we're talking about Internet of Things, think of a way you have your system sitting in your room, and perhaps you connect all these together. You connect your fridge to it. Let's say it's using a cable. Now you are in your room. You connect all these things through it because let's say you can't stand up, to just go pick up something. Now think of that way where you connect your printer to your laptop, and all of a sudden you receive a message: ink needs refill. You get this thing because of the communication between your printer and your laptop, because of the physical connection. If there is no cable connecting them together, there is no way you're gonna get this thing on your screen. Now you need ink needs refill, and all of a sudden again you get a message from your CCTV. You connecting it again with a cable. Now someone just passed your door, and just you receive it in your laptop. It's a physical connection, and they're communicating. Now your fridge again, you connect it, let's say, with an Ethernet cable. You receive a message. The fridge is in your kitchen. Now you're in the room, and you getting that message: milk is running low. These are what Internet of Things can do, in a way where you communicate, where things communicate with each other. Now let's think about the Internet of Everything. When we talk about the Internet of Everything, this is also called the IoE. IoE. Don't mistake it. Internet of Things is IoT. Internet of Everything is IoE. Now this deals not with physical device connecting, rather it deals with intelligent connection. Connection that are smart. Network intelligence is used to bring all of these concepts together to a more united system. Now think of that point where you are not seeing what is connecting you and I, but we can actually connect together. Think of that point where you're not even seeing me talking to someone else, but I am giving the person sign and the person can understand. So when we talk about the Internet of Everything, they deals not with the way physical things connect, rather it deals with network intelligence that support the all four elements. When we talk about this Internet of Everything, remember I said Internet of Things only deals with two elements of market transaction, which is the data and the things. Now we'll talk about the Internet of Everything. Internet of Everything is focused on the four elements of market transaction. Now what are the four elements of market transaction? What we're talking about: the people, we're talking about process, we're talking about data, and we're talking about things. So I'm going to explain all these things. I'm going to put you through how it's Internet of Everything touches people, process, data, and things. Now let me give you an example. Think of that way. Think of the way you don't really understand it, but think of a way all your social media are linked together. Think of a way from your YouTube you can get to your Twitter, you can get to your Google Plus, you can get to your Facebook, you can get to your WhatsApp, you can get to your Blogger, you can get to your Instagram, you can get to your Blink. Think of those way they actually connect together. You are not seeing them physically, but there is this network intelligence between them. From one part you can get to the other part. Think of that way where you actually connect your phone with your vehicle, where you actually can read a sensor. Think of that way. Think of those things you can't see, but even when they're far, you can actually still get to that. It's satisfying you. It's processing what you want. It processes your data, and these things connect. These are the way Internet of Everything actually connect together. Now let's talk about how Internet of Everything touches the four elements of market transaction. Let's start from the first one. Let's talk about people. Now, when we're talking about people, this a way of people, connecting together. Let me just read this to you so you don't get confused. You don't get confused. When we're talking about people, this is a way this thing helps to connect people in a more relevant, valuable, and a way using social media. It's a way people can communicate together using social media. You are not here, I'm not there. Let's say I'm in Lagos, you are in Ibadan. I'm in Lagos, you are in United Kingdom, you are in US, the other person is in France, but the both of you can still communicate like you're actually in a particular place. That is one of the elements of market transaction. Now let's talk about process. When we're talking about process helps to deliver vital and helpful information to the right people or machine. In time of business, people, even though you're not in a particular place, you can still meet, you can still communicate using social media. That is when we're talking about people. And when you meet using these things, even what you say should be processed. So it's a way you help things, to kind of get together. Now let's talk about data. Data, it's a way you convert it in a useful information. You just convert it to a more useful information for decision making. You pick up a data. A data is a raw fact, a fact that don't have meaning. Then when you convert it, it gives you information which is meaningful. Now let's talk about things. When I'm talking about things, these are physical objects connected to the internet and also to one device or more for easy decision making. I connect my phone to my vehicle, and when someone stole it, I can track it down. I can check on Google Map. I can do a lot of things. These are physical things connecting. A lot of things today make use of what we call the MAC address, the IP address, which is the internet protocol. Now, IP address, we are running out of version 4, and that is why we have version 6 now, because a lot of things will be making use of this IP address. A lot of things can connect. Don't be surprised if you buy a goat tomorrow and you see that the goat have MAC address, so you can actually talk to the goat. You can be anywhere you are and you text the goat, come over to this place. You can message it. Take off that drone. Here a lot now. We have drone being going message with someone. You can just be in United Kingdom and you package up something, you send a drone to something, you're actually in the place controlling this drone, and it gets to the person doorsteps. These are Internet of Things. These are Internet of the Things and Internet of Everything. Based on what we're talking about, the 4 elements touches people, process, data, and things. But Internet of Things only touches data and things. Now, when we're talking about these people, this helps to connect people in more relevant, valuable way using social media. That is how it touches them. When we're talking about process, helps to deliver vital and helpful information to the right people or machine. When we're talking about data, it converts data into useful information for decision making. When we're talking about things, these are physical objects connected to the internet and also to one device or more for easy decision making. Now let's just summarize everything. When we're talking about the difference between IoT and IoE, remember I said IoT is also an acronym, which is the Internet of Things. While IoE is also an acronym of Internet of Everything, is also called Internet of Everything. So anywhere you see IoT or IoE, IoT means Internet of Things, IoE means Internet of Everything. Now, the difference between IoT and IoE. Remember I said one is physically connected and the other one deals with network intelligence. All you need to know is that Internet of Things deals with physical connection of things, while IoE deals with network intelligence. Now, Another thing you really need to know is that Internet of Things is a branch of Internet of Everything. Internet of Things is under Internet of Everything. It's just like the way you're under your parents, and the way your children would be under you. So Internet of Things is a side to Internet of Everything. Now another difference is that Internet of Things touches only on data and things. So we're talking about the four elements of market transaction. Why the Internet of Everything touches the all four elements of market transaction when it comes to people, data, process, and things. I just believe you understand everything you really need to know about the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything. Please, if you like this video, like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Don't forget to comment. Above all, please subscribe to my channel, and when you subscribe, click the subscription button, and when you subscribe, don't go, just click the notification bell for future video, because I'll keep sending you a lot of videos and you would like, because I'm trying all my best to satisfy you. I'm still Kelvin representing OK Tech Tip, and thank you. God bless you. Peace out.